It's just weird because people are like, do this thing that you do. It's like, well, what did I do differently? I don't know. I don't actually know what you mean by that. I don't know any of this stuff. But people try and put this on you. They have no idea what you're doing. They have no idea how to do what you do. They can't even articulate what they want you to say. Like they'll always say, be you again. Well, I don't know how to be me any more than I am because like I'm always just me. Have I changed in 6 years? Sure, of course. Of course I've changed. One, I'm thinner. Two, I'm gayer. Three, I met Camelot. Well, that was a gayer thing. And four, I met Megan Fox, which means I have a mom now. So like all those things exist. Like, how do you balance this thing and try and pretend you're the same person? You can't. But they want a thing that you can't be. They want a person that no longer exists. But this is the crazy part. They never consider the fact that in those 6 years that they have also changed. And to me, I'm like, well, like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, I can't mold myself to what you want. I can't do that. Like, that's not a real thing. You don't even know what it is. If you knew what you wanted for entertainment, you'd probably just make it. Um, but like, you also can't just like do this thing that you used to do. And it's a weird sort of, it's a weird energy. It's a weird idea. It's a weird concept. But that's where people are. They want you to be a thing that they can't articulate anymore because it reminds them of the thing that they liked. But the sad reality for a lot of people, and maybe this is some of you, and I don't begrudge anybody, I really don't for this, is you might not like my show outside of the topic that you liked that lasted a long time. Or even maybe it's bigger than the topic. Maybe it's the themes of the topic. He's like, "Oh, I don't like politics and stuff, but I do like this self-defense thing, or I do like this civil thing. I like these celebrity lawsuits. I like funny lawsuits like the Dick and Maddox lawsuit. Dick and Maddox lawsuit was great. People are like, oh, you should read funny lawsuits again. It's like, I would love to read funny lawsuits. I really, really love to read funny lawsuits. The hardest thing is finding funny lawsuits that are current. They're like, oh yeah, you can find funny lawsuits. Well, yeah, you can go on Reddit or whatever and find lawsuits that ended 2, 3 years ago. You can find the answers. That's not funny to me. I don't like that. Other law tubers do that. Other ones, they go out, they're like, oh, we're going to do a rewatch of this trial from this date, or we're going to go through this lawsuit from this date. We're going to talk about this thing. I don't want to talk about a lawsuit personally that you know the outcome of because why would that be interesting? It's not interesting to me. It's not interesting to me. I can't try to make it interesting to you. That's all. To me, I want to hear, like, if you've got a funny lawsuit that's like retarded, like Maddox's versus Dick, I'm happy to cover that shit. Happy to do so. But it's hard to find a present lawsuit that is that funny because most lawsuits aren't funny. By the time you find out a funny lawsuit exists, it's usually over. Mr. Servat, if the creator is not interested, the audience won't be. I agree. But the audience wants you, and it's fine. They want you to be interested in the same stuff they're interested in. That's okay, of course. But you can't force yourself into those things. Like you cannot make yourself like a thing that you're not into. Like cover this thing. Like I can't cover the Young Thug trial, the Young Thug Rico trial. Maybe it's funny, probably, but I'm not black. YNW Melly, I'm even less black than that. So I couldn't do those. Frankly, I also just have not had the schedule to do it. I don't want to sit and do trials that I'm not interested in. Courtney Clinty, great. Fantastic. Love that trial. Trial is great. If Trump goes to trial in Georgia, fantastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. Those are the things I want to cover. Those are interesting to me.